Vag, vag, vag. What you gonna do when it's hot outside? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag. What you gonna do when the trains are down? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag.
Your hair looks great. You have a pretty dress on.
Yeah, you look hot.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys. It's all, that's why I love this fucking Zoom shit. I literally, like, my hair was out to here 10 minutes ago.
Well,
I know
I
you
have
told
to
me you
say,
were going to take a shower. I was like, don't do
Like,
that.
if you can see the stuff in the back, it's like so ratty. And I was just like, it's just the front part. Who cares?
yeah.
All that matters.
Mike, I have to say that I think you're one of the best dressed female comics.
Shut up.
I
like have like a bathing suit sticking out. Really?
I always like your style. Yeah.
I always feel like I'm failing, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, it's that feel of failing that like really inspires me to greatness.
It makes you attainable, maybe.
I
You have good street style.
am nothing if not attainable.
I remember you had a really funny joke about fucking a guy's potential. I always like that.
Oh, I remember that joke. That was in my A set when I was first going. I haven't told that joke in a million years though. I should
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy said I could have gone to. He's like I was going to go to grad school, and I was like, well, cool, but I can't fuck your potential.
Yeah, it's a great joke. Bring it back.
We're all starting over when we hit the road again.
Yeah, I don't know any of my jokes. I'd have to listen to all of my.
Are you really getting rid of all the jokes? Come on.
What'd you say?
No one's really getting rid of all their jokes.
No, I'm not getting rid of them, but I have to listen to them. I tried to think of a joke yesterday that I had in the shower, and I still don't know how it goes. So I have to like listen to tapes.
Yeah.
I deleted all my recordings on my phone because I just finished my album, and then I was like, oh, I don't need to listen to these anymore.
You have the album though.
Yeah, I do have the album.
But meanwhile, it's like if you ever had like extra bits you wanted to try, do you listen to them that diligently?
No, never.
And it's like always really funny because I keep recording and I maybe listen to like 1 second of it. Maybe that's why I'm not as far in my career as I
100% think maybe I'd either be farther along or I'd have quit if I listened back to my tapes. I'd either get better or realize I was never going to be that good.
It's so hard to listen to yourself though, because anytime I'm listening to album like recordings, I have to go, oh, this sounds terrible, and stop it, and then go back, stop it, and be like, this is awful. So like that's why I don't listen to recordings. It's just hard to hear yourself. For me anyway.
Yeah. Have you started?
I agree.
We start?
Yeah, we started, but I can always like trim it, you know.
Oh, okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to know before I say something like retard or something.
That's all right. You can say retard on here. It'll be on our Patreon.
I thought you were going to say retard.
Retard? I like retard. That's fun.
It sounds French. It sounds like a French retard.
Retard. Is your son retard? Like he went to Harvard or something?
Yeah, maybe you can really say, you can say awful words. You just have to give them a fancy saying, like pronunciation.
Are we all combing our heads for racist things we could try?
I already went through my Twitter a long time ago of anything that seemed problematic. And honestly, even the ones that had buzzwords in it or keywords, they didn't even do that well. So I had no problem delete. There was nothing that I was like, oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I got rid of everything. Anything with like, you know, faggot, tranny, black. I got rid of all of it.
Can you not say black anymore either?
Well, I went to make sure it wasn't like disparaging or like under bad.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So
surprisingly, I didn't have too many either. I thought my Twitter would have been a lot worse. I think I definitely had a recent tweet about no policing right now, and then I called people faggots.
Here's the thing, you gotta pick one. You can't just do them all. Like,
that one's gonna stay.
We're mere mortals, you know, like pick the ones you stand by and run with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
also
just
in
like the
context.
well-written ones.
Yeah, I'm just making fun of all the like policing of comedy and stuff.
Myka, did you comb through your tweets, or have you?
I've done it periodically. I never delete as many as I think I probably like. If I were to make it big right now for whatever reason, I would immediately be like, "Oh, there's still a lot of shit."
The nice thing though is like you're
yeah.
not just gonna be famous overnight, so you'll have time to delete them.
Yes. Well, no, now that's how you get famous. Like it'll be from like maybe something I say on this, and it'll be like Comedy Central employee, blah blah blah. Are you gonna stand for this? And then the fucking pile-on happens, and it's like, I mean, obviously I'm not that interesting, but you never know what is going to come to the forefront and just like look at Shane Gillis. SNL was overnight. The process to SNL was overnight. But that one thing was, and the next thing you know, what was it, 10 minutes later?
Yeah, and it slipped through the cracks. I think they did try to comb everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised about Kat Cohen. Did you follow that one?
I know about it. I neither watched the thing or like got too invested because I'm just like, we all make mistakes growing up in comedy, right?
Yeah. One.
I don't know what it was. It could be the most offensive thing. I'm not justifying it, but.
No, I mean, she was just being satirical, but the imagery was kind of, it would be hard to get away with it. Even she did in 2016. She had a black friend of hers and a rope around his neck while she held it.
It's not.
Yeah.
But what was the point? Because here's the thing. You got Quentin Tarantino making Django, right? And
Correct.
So obviously for art, you can present these concepts. It's like, it's all
a character.
Unintended.
No, I know. But you know what's funny though? And here's the thing is like, she's on that side of Brooklyn where they would probably shit on Legion of Skanks. And then you're like, but you guys do the same thing. You just don't, you're under a different umbrella, but because you put it under a satire or whatever, that I'm like, you guys are in the same category.
The thing is, everyone is attempting to make people laugh, and sometimes as comics, you might miss the mark, especially if you go back like 10 years through something, and everyone's getting so much more politically correct now. My friend and I wrote a script about 7 years ago, and we remembered it being very funny, and then he was like, I read the first couple of pages. He's like, we can't submit this anywhere. He's like, the margins have just changed and shifted so much, even though we probably still think it's funny. He's like, we got to change all of this. And I was like, I'm not rewriting it. I just thought we could have sent it the way it was. I'm not rewriting it though. So it's like, everything is getting so much more politically correct. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen after like quarantine, if people are still going. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
What does quarantine have to do with being politically correct?
I would think that after people are locked in the house for so long and dealt with this, that you wouldn't really care. Like I could see a kid doing crack right now and I wouldn't give a shit. Whereas before I might have been like, hey, your kid's doing crack. I just feel like being stuck in the house for so long. I don't know. I guess for me it's different. I don't know. It just feels like all of us are almost so scared to die that once we get back, you're like, well, am I really going to be upset if someone says retard on stage when we all just went through this horrible quarantine?
I think it'll be worse though.
You're forgetting Black Lives Matter thrived because of quarantine.
Yeah.
It bred more political correctness than it took away.
I think it's only
out of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, but I think Black Lives Matter, maybe that's, people are more politically correct about that, but they may not care about anything else. They're like, that's my one thing.
Yeah. Well, now, it's Black trans rights, we're gonna build. It's building.
Yeah, it'll get there.
What's July? Why? I can't even make a joke. Now I'm gonna.
You can't make jokes about anything. First of all, I don't really feel very comfortable on podcasts anymore because everything you say can just be used against you.
Yeah, and it's so casual, right?
Yeah.
You don't even, which, it's eye-opening. I never realized how casually racist and transphobic I was, but
we're holding you accountable on this podcast. So.
Okay.
Well, that was the other thing.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say that I was fascinated about, so she did an apology and then she had to do a second apology and it still wasn't good enough.
Yeah. It's the trap.
It's really, you're like, what do? Ignore it and bust through and it'll blow over? Or do you keep talking and dig yourself in a bigger hole?
I actually think Shane is lucky, to be honest, because he got rid of anyone that would be upset by whatever comedy he's doing. And now no matter what he says, people are just going to know that's who he is. So I think he's actually in a better position. His podcast is doing great. Yeah. He can tour. He has fans. Like, holding on to this possibility of maybe getting a TV show or something when that might never happen, and like constantly being worried about everything you're saying. It's a lot of pressure. I'd rather just be Shane Gillis. At this point, just have a podcast that you're making money off of and Patreon and be able to tour. Like, that's kind of what every comic wants anyway.
100%. I mean, but what about the people who have neither now? You know?
I know, that's the problem. You're actually better just going the Shane Gillis route. Because this is what the hard problem is that, like, I think a lot of us align with the left politically, or, you know, further to the left. But comedy fans will let you get away with more on the right. So it's like,
yeah, 100%.
I know. So it's hard to do comedy right now because it's just weird. It's like you're in a weird position where you don't really align with the right, but they are the most cavalier about jokes, except for Trump. If you shit on Trump, they hate you. But other than that, they don't care.
And pro-choice jokes.
Yeah.
And also they're kind of dumber. So smart jokes are like
not all of them. Well, I mean, if you're talking about rednecks, real rednecks don't like me either. So it has to be people that are not full right. Do you know what I mean?
Rednecks. I'm saying you go an hour and a half into Pennsylvania and you're just like, oh, let me fucking clock this back a few miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's still kind of rednecky, an hour and a half into Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it takes no time to get into like
Redneckville,
where they just want to. Oh, this is now. This is the bigotry on the other side that, you know, they assume from us. This is the real thing I have, though. I'm like, I may make fun of like Black or gay friends, but the people I really like, truly, am like, ugh, are rednecks. You know?
Yeah.
And they're like the nicest to you, Myka. They just want you to have sex with their family.
They want me to have sex with their family? A Jew?
They don't know you're Jewish.
Yeah, no, they don't, but once they find out, oh.
It's so easy to cover that up. You just say no.
And then never turn to the right.
I was going to say that, but it didn't seem right. I mean, look, how come you never were able to get your nose job? Don't all Jewish girls get their nose jobs?
Well, I stopped having a family by nose job age, so like.
Oh, Myka.
No.
Was that right? 14, 15?
My family disbanded, let's say, when I was 14. So.
Oh, God, prime nose job age.
I know. Right? Well, it's a 16
more years.
It's an age, but that was even in my family anyway. And obviously, like, now I'm an adult, I could have done it like a number of times. And
I don't think you have a big nose.
I like your nose. Yeah. I like noses.
Oh, thank you. Once a year, I go into like dark despair about how much better my life could be with a different nose. And I know it's like ludicrous, but like I truly believe it. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. And then I'm like, fuck it. Who cares?
Why don't you just do it? If it really bothered you, you could just do a GoFundMe.
It's not the money. It's the legitimate, like, do I really want to change my face forever? You know, what if I don't like it? Where does it stop? What if
keep changing it?
What?
Keep changing it every year. Get a new nose.
And the people with too much plastic surgery are, I think, truly the ugliest people on the planet. So
they're weird, and
they have feelings. We're gonna get dragged for that now.
Okay, rednecks, people too much plastic surgery. It's in both cases. I'm like, you're weak people.
Yeah, you're making fun of body dysmorphia.
Wait,
people.
first of all, do you know how much courage it takes to fuck all of your kids as a father? That is not easy.
Yeah, fuck them when they're adults. That's courage.
You gotta fuck them when their kids into adulthood. That's what you really gotta do.
Right? Like, you be an old man and fuck it's when in their prime. Now I'm impressed.
Yeah.
That's easy.
I'm sure there are people out there doing it you just haven't met.
Right. Well, there's always an article where they're like, I'm empowered and I want to fuck my dad. It's like, all right.
Yeah, you can't feel good about it. I don't want you to feel good about fucking your dad.
You guys read these, like, when people get adopted out and then they meet their dad later in life and there's always like a strong sexual attraction.
I've heard that with siblings that get separated at birth, that they meet later on, there's a sexual connection.
Love it.
I gotta tell you, I met my biological father a couple of years ago and I was the least attracted to him. I saw him and I was like, I don't even know how my mother fucked this guy.
Well, it was like, 30 years before, so he, aged.
Yeah. Well, apparently incest porn is really popular.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on our minds. So that's kind of interesting.
I guess so, but I can't even watch incest porn. Like, if I see it come up, it grosses me out. That grosses me out, and anything that says teens grosses me out. It makes it. I have a very little window of things I can watch on porn because I can't watch any of that stuff.
But they're not actually siblings, right?
No, but just the thought of it grosses me out. Like, I can't even get there. I'm just like grossed out by it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I've never seen it, so I don't know how horrifying it is.
It's just two people fucking. They're not like going over their report cards and shit and then fucking. It's just like, I mean, that would make it a little more interesting. Not some family issues. They were going over the will and then they started fucking each other.
Well, there was a well-known coffee commercial where everyone was like, and there's a whole article or like breakdown of it where the ad execs were like, now when we look at it, it really does look like there's a lot of sexual tension between the brother and the sister. Like, it's really weird.
Ooh, which coffee?
I think I forgot. If you just put it on YouTube and put coffee commercial incest or like brother sister love, it'll show up. And then I think Morgan Miller, she did a parody of it.
Oh yeah.
And it was very seamless how they did it. You're watching the actual commercial, and then somewhere in the commercial it changes to her and the other actor, and you're like, when did that happen? Because they managed to mimic it so well. And then they start
soldiers.
I think it is. It's like the brother comes back from working at the Peace Corps, and the younger sister, or she answers the door and is so excited, and then they go into the kitchen, and then they're just talking, and it's like they're so in love with each other. Like, no one's ever had that kind of relationship with their brother or sister.
Yeah.
Maybe I am into incest porn. That was kind of hot to me. Where he comes back 4 years later and he's super hot. You're like,
yeah, he's kind of cute. Yeah.
All we needed was a little time and space for me to want to bang you.
Maybe the actors were fucking.
Maybe the what?
They might have been
fucking, and so that like energy like bled into the commercial.
That happened. There's Michael Jackson did a video with Paul McCartney called "Say Say," and his sister Latoya is his love interest in it.
What? I thought you were gonna say with Macaulay Culkin, and then they fucked.
No.
There was a lot of sexual chemistry in that video too, though. But that was a lion.
But isn't that weird to choose your sister as the actress to play your love interest?
I feel like the Jacksons like keeping their money in
the family.
Yeah.
It's weird because usually Michael's making like really believable sexual decisions.
That's true.
It's so weird that he would choose like his sister as a sex object, to pretend.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that now that enough time's passed, we can ask Janet Jackson if Justin Timberlake and her planned that to have her boob out? Like, can we go back to that now, since no one really cares? Remember during the Super Bowl, he ripped her shirt off and her boob came out?
You think they planned it?
Probably.
It did look intentional, right?
It did look intentional.
Her boob looked great, so why wouldn't you plan that?
And it kind of tore perfectly. Like, why would he just do it accidentally?
It looked like it was planned, but to what end? To titillate?
Yeah. I don't
Um,
know.
Sure, it's great.
Did they both get in trouble or just she got in trouble? What was the deal there?
I don't think either of them really got in trouble. Did they?
They got, I don't know. Well, they got, I don't know what you call backlash, but like there's been articles that come out later, like on Huffington Post, about how it was unfair that Janet Jackson was treated compared to, and it was and they were saying, you know, just like a Black woman always takes the heat, and he got away with being the beloved one.
Maybe they should bring that back now, because now she could probably like torch Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring him down. If only for like being with boring Jessica Biel.
Yeah. Well, he cheated. Apparently he cheated on her.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't care who wins. I just feel like, you know, he deserves so much more in this life.
Why? I think
Then
his wife
Seventh
is
Heaven.
hot. You don't think she's pretty?
Of course she's pretty, but like, you know, pretty isn't for like a lifetime. You know,
I guess that's
mix
true.
it up. You're Justin Timberlake. You're one of the most talented people on the planet, you know?
Who would you be happy to see him with?
I don't know, a bunch of people, maybe. Fuck it. I don't know. I don't believe in monogamy for hot, talented people. It doesn't.
That's why when people like marry like basketball or any sports player, you're like, oh, but you're gonna have to accept that they probably cheat on the road. Like, you can't be surprised when that happens.
Yeah, sure.
But they usually marry hot women also. Like Carmelo Anthony's wife is hot, Lala.
Yeah, but they always cheat.
I mean, if I was the women, I would also cheat too and be like, you're not the only one that's going to cheat. I'm also going to fuck people.
100%, but it's going to be harder to find someone like who's got a basketball player's body, you know, like it's like, you know, prime steak, you know.
Yeah,
I think you can find a lot of guys with decent body. Girls also don't care as much as guys do about body. So you could find a guy who has a decent body that's maybe not an athlete. Get somebody else. Get a golf player.
But I guess it's just easier for the guy to cheat in those positions because they're on the road meeting so many people, where usually she's just staying in that city and hanging out with her girlfriends. So how often does she get to meet another guy, right?
Maybe somebody should put together a kind of app for these women of athletes, so when they're on the road, they can also bang people. So it's easier for them too.
It's called Instagram.
Yeah.
They're like influencers, their fucking DMs are flooded, I'm sure.
I don't know. I wouldn't want a creepy guy off of Instagram. I'd rather a guy that I meet at a coffee shop or something. You also want to do it with somebody who has something to lose also. You got to do it with another married person.
That's, I guess, Ashley Madison.
Bring that back.
I don't know. Not a married person. You bring like more drama into it. I don't know. Like, you need a hobo.
Like a homeless person?
Yeah, like someone with like just nothing, you know, nothing to lose.
Some of those homeless guys are really working out. They have nothing else to do.
Of course, they're tanned. They're not, you know, not overfed. Thank God.
Maybe a dude from prison. They work out a lot. That's just got out.
When we first started this quarantine, the first thing I looked up was prison workout. Because I was like, here we are. It's, you know, because you always say like, if I ever went to jail, I'd get in such great shape. You know, do you think that?
Yeah.
I've always said that.
I'm very educated too. I'd start reading all their books in the library if they had one.
I'd write a novel. I'd like have abs, you know, blah, blah, blah. You have this fantasy. Of course, that's like, if you assume they're getting proper nutrition, they're not. But
yeah,
I listen to all my sets in prison too.
That seems like its own prison.
For sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah. So I Googled their workouts are hard for sure.
What are is it a lot of push-ups?
It's like a lot of push-ups. It's a lot of, you know, burpees. It's because it's everything you can do in like a 6x8 cell. It's like such a tiny amount of space, but that's pretty much all the space I have in my apartment to work out. And so I was like, and you know, like, especially at first I was like grinding my teeth on it.
Yeah. I guess I could do it in prison if I didn't have my phone, but if I had my phone, in prison, which I doubt they let you have your phone in prison.
No, you'd have to sneak that. You wouldn't be able to use your phone all the time. Otherwise, prison would be great. If you could use your phone all the time and make videos for Instagram, build your following.
Yeah, that would be a great thing to do in prison, to work on your social media.
And your ass and abs.
Well, it's like that one guy, I felt like the best thing that ever happened to him is when he took a mugshot, that really attractive black guy with the blue eyes. He ended up getting a modeling contract.
Yeah, but I mean, how many other guys thought that would happen for them and they just went straight to jail?
Yeah, that
Probably
was
a lot.
Like some guy robbed a bank and he's like, this is going to break my modeling career. And then they're like, you're not attractive at all. You're going right to prison. It's like, shucks. Have you been writing a lot of material?
Me? No, but I never do. I don't remember the last time I wrote a joke.
But you tweet a lot.
I tweet.
Yeah, you do a lot of tweets.
It's not quite the same. You need to like.
Agreed.
You need to write around it to get to that line. I don't know.
Yeah.
Work backwards like Chappelle.
What does he do? Has the funny line and then works up to it?
Yeah, he has like the punchline and he works backwards.
That's what I should do, because that's basically how it's done for me. I don't know.
You should ask Chappelle. I think he'd be open to having a conversation with you.
You think?
Did you watch his did either of you watch his half hour?
I did.
How could you not? Like, how
so good.
Yeah, but how could you like know that's out there and have everyone talking about it and it's only half an hour and you're just like, I mean, it is heavy. It is heavy, but
somebody
like Nanette.
Somebody called it the Black Nanette.
That was Ray Sani.
Oh, it's so funny.
That's really funny.
It's true though.
Yeah. At least his was only a half hour though. Hers was like an hour.
Yeah.
Also, he didn't open with like 10 minutes of really hack stand-up.
No.
That's what separates it from him.
I thought it was great what he said, and I wonder if the people that were there knew what was going to happen, though. I don't know. I wonder if they thought he was going to just talk about jokes or not.
Well, he had like a bunch of other comics on it.
Yeah, I saw that. So they probably opened for him.
Did they open? You have to assume, right? So, and then he comes out, and by that time, they're just like so excited to see him, and they've already got their jokes fill, you know? I mean, how embarrassing to be a comedian opening up for that, and like how like unfortunate you seem compared, you know what I mean? Like how corny you must look at, you know.
Well, yeah, if all of you are doing jokes and then he's, you know, making a very political, powerful statement, and you're like, oh, I should have done that.
Right.
I wish I didn't talk about my printer.
Yeah, like my pussy jokes seem really dumb now.
Eating in quarantine is hard, you know.
You're just to the side of him on the stage, just being like, what was I thinking?
Well, because also, you think Chappelle was like, don't talk about the black thing I got, you know?
Yeah.
He might have said that. And they're like, what else are we going to talk about?
Right.
Well, I feel like I wouldn't have even mentioned it just because I feel like nobody wants to hear a white lady speak on it. So.
Well, there's only one white lady, but. Oh,
yeah. I'm just talking about in general. Plus, I don't have any jokes about anything. And I don't feel like what I'm comfortable with talking about.
Well, for sure. But I do think white ladies can totally talk about them in the context of it.
No, I agree.
You think white men can't?
I think everybody can. Like, it's, you know, it's a perspective within what's going on. You can't be like, explaining it from a black person's perspective.
Right,
Definitely.
that's true.
You know, but like, yeah, to say like, oh, we're here in this society, watching it going down, having a unique position in this place and not to speak from it, it's like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, look, when we get in trouble for talking about it, we're going to say you thought it was okay.
I mean, by the time you guys get in trouble, I'll be like 10 feet in the ground, I'm sure.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of comics are going on the road right now. And then I'm seeing all this stuff online about how by October they expect 170,000 people will be dead from COVID.
Yeah, but not us.
I'm not saying us, but like I
old
guess
people, like as it ravages.
not all old people though. That's just people thought that, but it's like a lot of healthy people that are also getting sick. Not that I'm healthy, but like you guys are healthy.
It's not really though. It's mostly old people. Like they're cherry picking anecdotal healthy people. Yeah, like some healthy people like all of a sudden have a worse reaction to it, and then they put those stories to the forefront to keep us all from behave. But like if you go by the numbers, it's like the people that are dying, I mean, are old. Like yes, it probably still sucks. It's like 2 months of hell, even if you're healthy. Like I don't want to, but the mortality rate is like elderly, and I'm not saying they deserve to die, but
but they also said it's affecting, minorities a lot worse than white people.
That makes sense because they're out doing the work still. They're still around people more.
Yeah, essential workers in the protests.
100%. Well, the protest hasn't been factored yet.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I don't know if it has come into play yet.
I think we have another week before we see, because what is it supposed to be, a 2-week incubation period? From what I saw, a lot of the protesters were wearing masks, and it doesn't spread that much outside.
Yeah, that's like the cops were not wearing masks at all.
And are they getting it? That's what I want to know. The cops aren't wearing masks.
A lot of cops were getting it when this first came out, and I saw a lot of cops wearing masks in the beginning, but now I don't see them wearing masks at all.
Right. Me neither.
So I don't know.
Well, I flew last Sunday, and I feel like it was fine.
See, that would creep me out with the trapped air. How long were you in the plane?
I did. They didn't have a direct flight from Houston to New York, so I stopped off in Charlotte. It was really weird because I flew from Houston. It was pretty quiet. My plane was full, but on both trips I had a seat in between, but other people didn't. And then when I got to Charlotte, that place was so busy that you wouldn't even know that we were in a pandemic. And then when I got to New York, JFK, it was a ghost town. It was so weird that there was no one there.
Interesting. Are New Yorkers are allowed to fly anywhere, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think people aren't going to New York as much as before. And then we all had to wear our masks, but they said if you had to eat, you can take your mask off, but they didn't serve any food or drinks. And then apparently they say if you keep the little air thing above you kind of flowing, it should be okay. I felt fine. And I feel like it's been a week almost, and it's been okay.
Yeah. So wait, how are people spaced out?
I mean, like a regular flight, it wasn't that spaced out. I managed to have the seat in between me empty, but we're still on top of each other even with that.
Yeah, that's not
happening.
That's 1 foot maybe.
Yeah. But other people didn't have that. So it was like a pretty full flight. They were only offering like 2 flights that day anyway, so it wouldn't have been everyone that had to go were on that flight.
That would creep me the fuck out if I was stuck next to somebody. I remember, when this first started happening, I took a flight to LA, and the person seated next to me was wearing a mask, and this was before that was like the thing we were supposed to do. And I was like, 6 hours, 5.5 hours on a flight with this guy wearing a mask, and the whole time I was like, right? I'm shocked I didn't get it then. I'm sure he didn't have it now that I know, like, culturally he knew to be wearing a mask, but because he was Asian, but.
That was a nice way of saying Asian culturally.
Yeah. Well, then I had to clarify.
They know.
It did panic me, but they, that culture has been doing it, so.
Yeah, because they know better.
Yeah, I don't know. I would probably give me an anxiety attack to travel right now. It's just like knowing we're all stuck in this plane. We're on top of each other. That would be a rough flight for me.
I can't wait to drink at a bar. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I'll walk in and like scream at people and like spill my drink. And when do we get to do that?
Yeah, dump your purse out in the middle of the sidewalk because you can't find your keys.
Yeah, I just want to be like a real fucking asshole again. telling me?
Are you
Well,
doing
you
any?
could save everything for the first day. You could just do full asshole for like that whole first day.
But when's that first day? Like, where's that first day?
Oh, like 2023.
I
Like in
can't.
3 years.
No fucking way. I'm going to like Indiana or something. I'm just gonna like, I don't know, vomit on
Yeah.
me. I have to.
I don't know how
let's
to
say
say like Jewish people in Indiana.
What?
I don't know how much Jewish people are beloved in Indiana.
There I can pass. They won't know. They'll think I'm Italian or something.
you could go to
Ooh.
Texas and go. You could go to bars there. And facts, there's a few bars nearby where I grew up that were like, you can't come in with the mask on.
No way. Cool. Why? Because it's so
I don't-
rude? Is it like because it freaks people out?
Yeah, I think because they were like, we're not into that shit. We're just gonna keep going. Kind of that attitude of like, you
Texas
don't
right
tell me
now-
what to do.
Texas and I think even Florida right now has really high numbers. Florida had like
Yeah.
4,000 new cases in 3 days.
I think Georgia too has some. We're hitting some high numbers from reopening.
Wow. Really? Damn
It's gonna
it.
be real interesting. It's hard to know what to do. Like, you know, I have a couple of dates coming up and I'm like, is that really gonna happen? Should I wait till the dates are closer? You just
The
don't know how
thing-
things are gonna be.
You'll be fine. It's the people in the show because you have a little bit of a distance from the audience. It's the audience that has to be a problem.
Right, but also I guess there's two parts to that. Like also staying in all these different hotels and traveling, like I don't love that part of it. And then also, I don't know, I don't want to be the reason why people are getting sick either. Like that doesn't
No, I
feel
know. Well, it's from what I gather, they call it the events that like comedy shows and sports stuff and concert, they're calling them super spreaders. That's where people get exposed to it the most.
where people are having the most sex because they're spreading their legs.
Yeah.
I like to think comedy does that.
This is what spread.
Super spreading their legs at the shows after.
That's how I laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, and my legs are just flapping everywhere.
Yeah, but it's weird because like Stand Up New York did this illegal comedy show. Did you see that? And then like a comic posted about it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you probably shouldn't have posted about that.
Wait, the Chloe LeBranch one inside?
Yeah.
Or outside? Yeah, I didn't. All I saw were the photos, but I'm like, who went to the show? Like, what audience went to the show? That's what we don't see. Like,
Well, I mean, nobody really goes to Stand Up New York shows, but
Yeah.
I'm like,
maybe they're fine because they're already socially distancing without even knowing it.
I guarantee you, nobody, even at the height of the spread, was catching COVID at Stand Up New York.
That's
Yeah.
probably true. I guess I just wonder if
It was the
they're
safest
having,
place in the city.
yeah. And I wonder if they're having shows though. Oh, I guess are they having shows though?
I don't know. I mean, I know like they also like were written up in the New York Times for that outdoor show getting closed down by the cops.
Right. But that was also kind of the height of the protests too.
Which is
Right?
which makes it make even less sense. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
we're in the streets.
They're not coming to watch your show.
Yeah. But I mean, meanwhile, Michael Che has a show and there's like a shit ton of people outside.
Oh yeah, people were
Oh,
like
yeah.
shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, I
don't
didn't. That was at the Creek. I don't even remember the Creek having a parking lot. Where did they do that?
It was at the Plaxel Gallery, which is like a couple blocks down from the Creek.
Okay, but did Rebecca put it on?
She did.
Okay, good for her.
Yeah.
She's back.
Oh, you can't keep her away from being part of the bit.
Comedy. Yeah.
She's gonna be comedy
I don't
mom
know.
for the rest of our lives.
So are you still working right now, right?
Yeah.
For Comedy Central? That's great. So you're just working from home?
Yeah, it's fucking great. I never want to go back there. I hope I never fucking see an office again for the rest of my life.
I would think after this, they're gonna do a lot of cutting out of like overhead and offices because you don't really need it for most jobs.
No, I mean, I hope so. Like, you know, we don't really need it. I honestly, the people who if I had a kid, I'd be like, give me my office back now.
Yeah.
You know, and like as it is, like I have a studio apartment, a boyfriend who was like staying with me for most of the quarantine. And it was like, oh, this is like too much, you know, it's too much stimulation. So, but alone, like if you can find a private space to do it from home, why go back?
Doing that morning commute is awful. I'd like to think that's where we get exposed to the virus the most.
Probably.
Like they say, even they're going to start to let people back in, I think in August, but it's not going to be me. And even then it's going to be very few people and only if you feel comfortable. So like, also because childcare is like impossible if the schools aren't open. And
yeah. I have to say that I'm on unemployment right now and it's the best thing that's ever happened.
Are you one of those people making more money on unemployment? God bless you.
I know.
I'm also getting it too, and I was just starting to make more than I was making on unemployment, but like it wasn't as consistent all the time. So yeah, it's just like a lot of people are on unemployment right now making more money than they were making before.
Which is wild because it's like people need to be making more money. Like how do we disperse it so that it's not advantageous to be unemployed?
Exactly. Because I was going to try to get my day job back and see if I could work from home. And then when I was finding out that you could do unemployment as like freelancing, so I applied and it was a race to see who was going to call me back and get it the fastest. And for some reason I got unemployment faster. But even with that, I was making more money in unemployment than I was at my day job. And they were making me, it was like insane, all the stuff that they were making me, the kind of work that I was doing for an 8-hour day.
Really?
Yeah, people should be making more money than they're making, especially in New York City that it's so expensive. Like you said, you shouldn't be making more. I mean, look, then there's also kids who are like cashiers working probably not that much who are making a lot more money. And that's a different situation. But like for actual adults that are like, I'm not going back to work because I'm making more on unemployment. That's like, that system should be fixed.
I was a bookkeeper for property management, and it's crazy to me that I'm making more money on unemployment than I was for like a really busy property management company.
Yeah, whatever the minimum wage is working out to with this unemployment should be what it's raised to in New York going forward.
You mean like the minimum wage?
Plus, like you should be making more money no matter what job you had. You should be making more money than if you're sitting at home doing nothing. But you know, like obviously from the top down, they're gonna be like, we just got to give them less unemployment. But
yeah, but honestly, unemployment itself doesn't pay a lot. Do you know what I mean? We're making more money because of the PUA, the extra $600 a week.
But that's whatever that is, plus the PUA, that's what minimum wage should be raised to.
Nobody's going to go for that.
But it's that's what they've decided we need to live. Then they need to acknowledge that and make it possible to live on that with the job. Well,
you're right, but no one's going to do it. They'd have to pay people probably $30 an hour.
Good.
It's not just not going to happen.
How good would you feel knowing that every person you talk to made $30 an hour?
It'd be amazing.
Like, I would never apologize for anything for the rest of my life. I'd be like, we're all fine. We're all like.
You would still not be able to say retard though. Like, it doesn't matter.
No, because
you could say it at my old job. They said it all the time.
At some jobs, you could say it.
I mean, $30, great. I love that number. I love it for people. I mean, yeah, so small businesses, wow. I don't know. Subsidize small businesses. I'm a communist. What do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, this is pretty good social program.
I love the idea of being a communist unless I was in the 1%. Like as soon as I was able to make so much money, I'd be like, let's go back to capitalism.
Do you really think you would still like just hate people that much?
What do you mean?
If they're getting the money for free, they are still working for it.
Oh no, right now I love that idea.
Yeah.
But if I was say I had like $5 million and then they're like, hey, we're dividing everyone's money up, I'd be like, oh, I'm not for that.
Well, because $5 million isn't enough money. $5 million isn't enough money. But like,
speak for yourself. I'm overdrafting checks. $5 million is a lot of money. Maybe not for you because your dad's a doctor, but my dad was a postal worker.
Right. No, but even if I was making $5 million, I'd still feel like I needed to hoard it because it's not enough money to like stop working or to whatever. But if I had $5 billion, now it's like, oh, how many yachts do you need while children are starving? Like that disparity that's too much. $5 million heirs, I'm not mad at you.
Oh, I would like to have $10,000. So yes.
You're like, you're not taking away my $10,000.
You're not taking away my $5,000. I'm not giving that to anyone.
But I mean, the 1% is fine. It's the 0.01% I'm worried about.
The people that are like right above everyone, like underneath the 1%.
No. The people who like the difference between because $5 million.
You mean poor people?
No. I'm talking about the ultra rich. These are the people that need to be like brought to justice in a major way. Like I think they are full on like murderers.
Oh, you have to be when you get to that level.
I don't agree with that. How are they full on murderers?
Because
like Apple Store pays like another country to do it, and the worst living they had in their factories a really high suicide rate.
High suicide rate, you can't get health benefits, you can't leave work to go to the doctor if you're taking that time off to be sick.
Yeah.
Job, and now you're starving and your kids are starving and you're living in a home that falls in on you because it's like bullshit and on and black mold and the this and the that and the pollution you live near and blah, blah, blah. Fuck them, they're murderers.
I mean, also too, you have to blame those countries for setting it up where we can exploit them too.
Well, it's the rich people in those countries too. So, but
what about somebody who's just like rich because they're a great person?
Name one of those people.
Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's.
But they're what I call 5 millionaires. They're not. Are they billionaires?
Probably.
I don't know.
They might be like, I would say 100 million, which is now we're getting up there. But even that's not close to these like fucking billion. You know what I mean?
What about Oprah? Like, Oprah's pretty rich. She seems like a good person.
She has $1 billion. She's evil.
You're gonna say that about poor Oprah who struggled with her weight her whole life? I refuse to believe it.
Poor Oprah? No. Yeah, I think she is complicit in.
You're gonna get the whole Black community right after you. Cannot make fun of Oprah.
She's in league with all the evil white people.
Good for her, though.
What?
They figured out a way to work the system. I don't know. I don't care anymore about anyone.
I watched an Oprah where she was talking to this woman that had HIV, and she's like, well, look at Magic Johnson. And then the lady was like, that's because he has millions of dollars, that she is out of touch with the
Well, that
working
lady should have
man.
said, Oprah, are you willing to help me get that medication?
Exactly.
You have to really put rich people against the wall and force them to give you their money. That's what we're not doing right.
Well, she did donate cars, and then everybody got mad at her because they had to pay taxes on the cars that they were given.
I mean, nobody's happy. They took down that Columbus statue somewhere, and they're like, well, this should have been down for a while. And you're like, sure, but like, can't you just be happy it's down?
Those people are the worst. The people they're like,
sure, it should have never been up, but like it's down. Can't we just be happy it's down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. Let's move forward. What's next?
But it's kind of like what we said about apologizing to people where people are not happy with your apology. You're like, well, why am I apologizing in the first place? It's like, well, why am I taking this dumb statue down if you're still not happy?
Yeah, you got it. If you want change, you have to allow for people to change.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
agree. So what we're saying is, Oprah, give us some money.
We figured it out. It took us an hour. We did it.
It took us an hour, but we figured it out. You have to allow people to change.
Who knew that 3 white women could really solve this issue?
I mean, I thought all along we could.
Yeah,
I didn't say it out loud.
Statue.
I didn't want to be attacked, but
Honestly, though, as a comedian, I feel like that makes me not a white woman, and I can't back this up yet, but
I know what you're saying. You're an entity.
right.
Me and Sarah were thinking of becoming men because white women are out.
Yeah.
Just becoming full white men.
Why not? Because it skipped us. Whatever it was, like, and maybe rightfully so, but fuck it. If I'm gonna be in that camp, let's be white men.
I just want to grow a beard and then I won't have to care about having like a double chin.
Oh my God. Because beards are like contouring for guys.
Right. Yeah, it's like makeup.
Yeah.
And then we won't have to dye our hair.
I had a weird random like coarse hair growing out right here recently that I was like, it's happening.
That's how you know you're starting to change into a dude. They give you that one coarse hair.
Wait, on your wrist?
Yeah, it was so funky. I've had one before, like one here, that every now and then when it's summertime and I'm wearing a tank top, I'm like, oh my God, what is this? I pluck them.
Disgusting.
What?
I've never heard of it. I'm disgusted.
Well, you're not ready to transition like us.
No, I don't know. Should I transition? I should do it.
I mean, that's a really cute dress, so maybe not right now, but in like 6 months.
I'm 5'2", and like no one is treated. I mean, short dudes definitely have a rough go.
Yeah. I think ugly people have a rough go, and nobody's sticking up for them. Yeah.
Ugly people have it the worst, unless they're super rich. Because like Harvey Weinstein, arguably one of the ugliest. People on the planet.
Atrocious.
So like, did he get the money? Was he born with money, or did he make it as an ugly person? Ugly men can still do things.
Do you feel like
ugly woman?
Not so much.
Name me a rich, ugly woman.
Well, right. Ugly women can also just be lesbians, because I feel like women don't care as much about looks.
I don't know if that's true.
I feel like women let a lot of things go if they think someone's a good person.
That's true. And they
maybe not us, but I think other women.
Yeah, not us.
Looks, but their definition is broader.
Do you think in Weinstein's trial, his lawyer could have brought up him raping because he's not that good looking? Is that something you can say where like it's wrong, but like we all kind of get it?
Right. It was like, what was he supposed to do?
Right. Yeah, he was put in a corner.
Pay for it is the answer.
I mean, I guess he employed a lot of them. Doesn't that count?
What?
He employed a lot of them, right?
Forced employment.
Yeah.
What if he said, look, I tried for 3 years to bang chicks being nice and it didn't work?
He's rich. You buy a prostitute. Like, I have no pity for that. He wasn't trying to get them to love him, so it's not like that's what he's complaining. You know what I mean? He was just trying to. But
what if that made him feel worse about himself, though, having to buy it?
Poor baby.
He's like, that really hurts my self-esteem. I'd rather just trick them into jerking me off into this plant.
Right.
What about the plants? Do you think they were upset by it?
Yeah, plants can feel things. Like, you know how, like, if you write a word and put it on a plant, it's supposed to, like, feel it and, like, change and grow. So maybe their cum made, like, the plant all fat and ugly.
That's a funny sketch, going to trial for the plants who were molested by Weinstein.
And you put them up and they get to say their piece to him.
And then other plants also speak in honor of the one plant that had to listen to it complain about getting raped by Harvey Weinstein.
And nobody cleaned off the cum off that plant, so it still has dried up cum on its leaves.
So it still has evidence.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, that was fun.
We really learned a lot and grew as people.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a statue made of us.
Ooh.
And put it somewhere in New York City and see how long it takes to get taken down.
That's what a great experiment.
I love it.
You almost never see statues of women anyway. There's like one little girl.
Yeah, and if there are, I guess like she usually has like a cloak draped along her tits and her body's pretty decent.
Oh, yeah. So it's like on a courthouse or the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, or the Paramount lady.
Oh, right. Is that
Yeah.
even
Or religious figures? Do you think more people
Yeah.
will go to church if they had like sexy statues of women?
I would.
Yeah. I just don't think, I think you're right. There's no statues of really overweight women.
There is one in Columbus Circle when you enter that mall area. It's
What is it?
One. Can I screen share? I'm gonna screen share. You guys are gonna like see some like really heinous incest porn. It's like at the coffee commercial. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Let me find this thing though.
Do you want me to make you a host?
Circle statue. Hold on. Wait, shit, that's not it. Because that's actually in mall. I think maybe it's more a sculpture.
What is she?
I don't know. It's just like a big. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe it wasn't even a woman. Maybe I just assumed it was because it was so curvy. But it's just like it's like a big black statue with like titties.
Where is it?
I think it's like in that mall when you walk in. You know the mall in Columbus?
Yeah, I've been there. I can't even remember.
I can't find it, but
I don't think I've ever been there.
I'm looking it up right now, and then I'll see if I can find it. Oh, I think it's a man, or is it a man and a woman? Let me know if this is it. I'm gonna save it and then I'll share it.
Maybe it's a fluid statue.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that ironic?
Shit. Oh, I did it. No, I didn't. Shit. I'm dumb. Oh, save. All right. I'm sorry. This is not really great content right now.
Well,
is it called?
How much do you guys edit out of this show?
Not a lot, because unless somebody asks us to edit, then I don't really, or if they're maybe in the audio part, if there's a lag, I'll do it, but not here. I got it. I'm sharing it right now. Is this it?
Yeah, that is it. But one of them is really a man, but that's not.
One's a man and one's a woman, I think.
Right. But
I've never seen those before. I've never been to this mall either.
Huh.
I went there. Do you think they'll get rid of Columbus Circle as the name?
What do you think it should be called?
I think
Circle. Circle Mall.
The Circle Jerk.
I like that.
The Circle Jerk. Yeah. I don't know what to name it. I guess you'd have to change a lot of things because a lot of things in America are named Columbus.
Yeah. Like our capital.
That's a really good point. What are we gonna do? There's so much.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw like this sheet that came out. I saw it on Instagram yesterday where it was like a list of the slaveholders in New York in 17 whatever or 18. It was like in 1860 or something like that. And it's every single street name you'd recognize in Bushwick. Like Sidham and Willoughby and all these things. Like they were all named after slaveholders. It was probably the streets they lived on or whatever.
Do you think they're gonna rename everything?
No.
I mean, too much work.
So much work, but it's like you would have to rename every fucking street in Bushwick.
Well, now that they're just printing money, I think we should just give black people reparations. That's what they're doing anyway. They're just printing money for like all this unemployment. It's like, well, then definitely give black people the reparations that they were promised.
That sounds great.
Well, I mean, if they're on unemployment, then isn't that it?
No, because there's white people getting unemployment. Come on, Myka, you're gonna get canceled as fuck.
I'm just saying. Are they or aren't they getting free money? I don't know.
I guess you just have to call it that.
Yeah.
Maybe you backtrack.
That's right. Oh, if you call unemployment reparations, that's when you get canceled.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so how much do you
I'm on reparations.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think that we could give black people for reparations? How do you even equate that number?
You can't. And there's an emotional toll too.
Yeah.
Let's just start.
I don't know how
treat them, getting rid of the cops. I think that would go a long way.
Well, you could make business loans easier, or like endowments, I think, and then schooling system to have the same opportunities, because those are very segregated still.
Well,
with
how
property
about
taxes.
I think this is something Michael will agree with, and like we make the ultra rich, the 0.01% pay for the reparations.
Great. I love it.
I knew you'd love it. How do we get them to do it?
I want to make them pay for everything, you know. Fuck it. They're hoarding wealth. It's fucking wild. It's never been like this. It's never been like this in all of society. It's, you know, there's no reason we have so much food and starving people. It makes, like, it's all fucking backwards. There's no balance. I've been predicting for a while that there's going to be like crazy rioting over this. And I mean, right now it's, you know, for Black rights, and that's super just. And I think in the future, it's going to be about the wealth disparity if it continues like this.
Oh, well, definitely. Because it also seems like certain groups are the ones that get fucked over by it.
Also, though, the ultra wealthy, though, will be able to just like peace out and leave. They're like, we're not going to stay there. They can fight and kill themselves.
I think
I don't care if they die. I just don't want them to, you know, like, we can topple the financial system. We're only agreeing that they're rich. We're agreeing that they're rich by acknowledging.
Yes.
If we just stop taking their money, if we stop being their servant.
Whoa, I'm not going to stop taking their money.
That's what it's going to take, bitch. Are you part of the revolution or not? We have to.
I'm definitely not. Right there, you got me out.
Stop selling them clothes. Stop driving their cars and boats. Fuck them. Like, make them do it themselves.
I'm definitely not taking the subway. So, like, I'm definitely out right there.
how sad to see rich people drive their own limousines.
Why would you have to take the subway? Just don't drive their car. Like, don't help them.
Oh, I thought you meant I couldn't drive any cars, because I mean, buying their cars is still putting money in their pocket.
Don't sell them a car. Like, they can't make their own car. All their power is the fact that they have a lot of money. So don't acknowledge their money. Don't sell to them. Don't help them. Don't let them buy anything.
Okay, but then we also, if we do that, then the poor people won't have stuff to buy either.
We start our own money system. Their money is worthless now. We
have Venmo.
I think it's Bitcoin. But rich people are in on Bitcoin. If we can identify the people who are hoarding, like, we topple the financial system, build from scratch. That's the next thing to go from scratch. And
look, I agree with you, but I've probably spent 80% of my unemployment on Amazon stuff. So, like, it's just not going to happen. I have to be honest with you. This sounds great in theory, but I'm out.
Right. No. Change takes sacrifice, and
also, like, everyone would have to stop doing it, and I know people would still pretend they're not doing it and doing it. I could do that. I could pretend I'm not doing it, but I'm secretly getting my Amazon stuff.
Oh yeah, people do that all the time.
That's how Bezos is a billionaire. He's relying on your complacency and comfort.
Bezos, you're welcome. Whatever you say, you're not going to get me to change my mind.
I don't think what I'm asking for people to do is insane, especially if you're comfortable, which you are.
Not really. I would like to have Bezos' money. Look, if I was rich like that, I would definitely not get stuff from Amazon. I would just have my hired help go get it for me.
From Amazon, you know, because now you're making them do all the work.
Oh, that's what I'm paying them for, very minimally.
Minimally, $30 an hour, and I don't mind what you make.
$30 an hour is a good salary. That's at least $60,000 a year. About.
That's the minimum they said you need to make to, like, be okay in New York, is $60,000.
And that's not even that much money.
It used to be, but
it's not anymore.
It's like fine if you know if $60,000 is like just okay in the middle of the country, then it's fucking jack shit here.
Oh,
it's very cool here.
It's a different game over here.
Mm-hmm. It's the Wild Wild West.
I didn't mean to radicalize, your audience, but if you got
that's fine.
They're fine.
They need to be
nobody takes anything we say seriously.
Yeah, right. I'm not practicing what I preach either. Everyone has to do it or nobody can do it,
Yeah, I know you didn't like make that dress yourself.
No, but I don't do fast fashion. That's one of the things I don't do.
So what do you?
I've stopped doing that. I've started thrift store shopping.
Thrift store shopping or buying things where you're aware, the employees are making a decent salary, and you can
How do you know that though? Are you seeing their paychecks?
It's expensive.
Yeah, but then you have to make a certain amount of money to do that.
I don't think people
well.
I don't think people shouldn't make money. I just don't think they should make so much money that it's to the detriment of other people.
I don't agree. I think Nike,
on the,
I have so many pairs of Nike sneakers, and they're paying their people like shit.
Well, they're a problem. They're
a definite problem. So is iPhone.
So
what?
I also own Nike sneakers. I am not.
We're all part of the problem. It's so hard.
Yeah. I have an Apple phone. This is an Apple laptop I'm working off of.
It's hard. Look, you're doing the right thing as a white woman. You're saying things you're not willing to do, and that's the first thing we can all say. As a white woman, there's a lot of things that we should be doing that we're not doing.
That's our motto.
Yeah.
Look, I'm leaning into it. I bought my dog a stroller so I could go on longer walks with her.
That's just cute. That's not a bad.
I'll show you a picture of it, and you're gonna be like, "That's fucking adorable."
I mean, I prefer that to a baby.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Stroller and it's not a baby. I'm thrilled. Like, I'm happy if it's a stroller and a bunch of bottles and cans.
That's actually not a bad idea for people who are panhandling, to get them a nice stroller to keep all their stuff in.
Oh, sure.
Yes. Strollers for homeless people is our charity that we started.
Oh God, Steals on Wheels.
Yeah, Steals on Wheels.
You gotta give it to every homeless person, otherwise they'll fight.
Well, okay. That's all that's holding this up.
That's all that's holding up the movement for homeless people, is that they all need their own strollers. Yeah. You know what's so weird though, is like, you're right, we are so like greedy and stuff. I went a long time ago, I was like handing stuff out for homeless people, and I only did it once, so it's not like I'm saying I'm great, because I know I'm not. And like, there was clothes, and one person had like a Yankee hoodie or something that was donated, and then another guy wanted it, another homeless guy that he knew, and he gave it to him, and he was like, "What do I care? I'll get something else." And it's such like it was like eye-opening, because you're like, wow, these people have nothing, but they're still willing to give away something that they wanted. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Sweet.
I don't know. I'm not willing to do that, but it was nice that they like were willing to do that.
You're like, that's why you're homeless.
Because you're giving away all your
give
stuff. I mean, I think it was probably the heroin that he was also doing, but it was nice that. Well, let's be realistic. He's not going to share his heroin, but he would give him his Yankee sweatshirt he didn't care that much about.
That's the thing. People share their drugs all the time. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, if you see it all the time, people are like, let's get high together. I'm like, yo, you could have gotten high twice.
Yeah.
Well,
you're right. If they weren't sharing all their homes, they might still have one.
That's true. Although doing drugs by yourself isn't fun.
Disagree.
I feel like heroin is. Most people on heroin, I don't know how much they're really like hanging out after. It's just a lot of kind of standing still, like backwards.
Zoning out.
There we go.
Nodding out.
Nodding out, yeah.
Yeah, they're not zoning out.
I'm sure they're zoning out also.
Yeah, especially when I talk to them.
You ever talk to somebody and they're zoning out and they're like, no, I'm just on heroin.
You're like, fair enough.
I'm like, thank you. I thought I was boring you. And they're back to their backward somersault, whatever they're doing. It's pretty impressive, though, to be able to hold that pose for so long.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
it
true.
is.
Well, I think we figured out a lot of stuff on this podcast today.
Thank you for having me. I feel
You're welcome. It's our
Thank you
podcast
for
called
doing
Three
it.
White Ladies.
3 white ladies can really change the world.
Always 3 white ladies. Is that the gimmick?
Yeah. 3 White Ladies. I mean, that's how charities start, right?
Yeah.
On the Upper East Side. We do a lot of backing.
I really like
Myka,
strollers for homeless people. I feel like it's not that much work.
Steel for wheels, or wheels on steel.
Yeah, I like that. I like a charity that's not that much work, and it's going to make minimum change.
That's our podcast.
That's our podcast.
Minimum change. I love it.
Minimum work with no change.
So where can you guys?
Oh,
What?
thank you for having us on your podcast, Myka.
Myka, this was so nice of you.
Guys, Myka's the new host of Vag.
Well, she's just the best at it, and you only had to be a little bit better than us because we suck.
So, like plug your dates, or I mean, I don't know.
I don't have any dates, but you could come by my house and wave to me. I'll be in the Bronx.
Never mind.
I'll be in Arlington. I'm in Arlington, Virginia, July 17th and 18th.
Whoa, that's awesome.
For the Draft House. We'll see. So come get COVID. I'll be there spewing spit. Myka, you're on Instagram. You kill it on Twitter. You're one of my favorite people to follow on Twitter.
You are my favorite person. I'm going to top what Sarah said and leave her in an uncomfortable position because I'm going to say you are my favorite person.
I cannot wait till this hits and I just get the influx of all your fans following.
Oh, no. We have no fans. Nobody watches this. This is basically for us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We tricked you into hanging out with us.
I'm so desperate to be around people. Like, I would hang out at an open mic.
Me too. I would even go up.
I am so, like, even if it's just to remember what it's like to be annoyed by somebody, I'm just,
yeah, to roll your eyes at somebody.
Or just tell someone go away. It would feel so good.
Are you doing any virtual shows or no?
What is this? I don't know.
This is a podcast, so we know no one's going to listen to this. But what about a show where people pretend they're going to watch?
I've done some. Obviously, it's underwhelming, but what I get out of it is the same thing I get out of this, just like talking to someone who isn't my boyfriend.
Is your boyfriend a comic?
Yeah, Tim McLaughlin. He's very funny.
Oh, I think I know Tim.
I don't think I know who that is.
He's a Chicago guy. He's living in New York for not quite 2 years yet, so he's still like established
in between.
He's like a white guy.
Hard.
I didn't remember him the first 3 times I met him, so you probably met him.
So he's like not very memorable. Sarah, there's a little bug crawling on the wall.
Oh yeah, that's my friend.
Ooh, who is that? Is that the help?
That's Terry, because I don't know what gender he or she is. So
smart. Terry's a good name. So is Pat.
Yeah. So they are going to the store, or they are going outside. I don't know how to. It's really difficult. What's their pronoun for that? They. Anyway, that's a whole other podcast. Myka, you're gonna love your 3 new followers.
Can't wait. It's MYKAFOX. Hit me up, DM me, tell me you followed me from the Badge podcast. And
tell everyone how beautiful she looks in her red dress, and not to go to Indiana.
I could be in Indiana right now. Wouldn't change anything for anybody.
You'd probably be able to go outside. I'm sure it's not as strict there with quarantine and stuff.
Their bars are open.
Yeah.
You could go into Manhattan. A lot of stuff's open in Manhattan. I just saw a picture of people like eating outside, and then the whole place was
St.
packed.
Mark's. Yeah, St. Mark's looks like a Mardi Gras.
Yeah, so we're gonna be back in quarantine very soon. So go out now.
That's what I think. I was in Williamsburg, and all the like bars had like an outdoor area, and the street was shut down. Everyone was just like kind of partying in the street. I was like, this is better than the bar. Like,
exactly. Yeah. That looks like more fun.
If it is gonna like be kind of quiet for the summer, like fuck it, let's go for it.
Myka, I'm with you. You test it out and let us know how it is. Let us know if you get sick.
Trust me, you'll know.
I'll be like, how come she's not tweeting anymore? She must have gotten COVID.
I would live tweet the shit out of my COVID.
I don't think anyone's done that. That's a good way to get famous.
Thank you. I mean, and then they'll go back and be like, oh, this COVID girl is racist.
That's
yeah.
You do whatever
when they go.
You do whatever you need. Maybe it's kind of like Ambien where you get racist.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, I can blame it on the COVID. Blame it on
there you go.
All right,
that's a song. That's your summer hit. All right, I'm gonna stop.